gang, it's Charles for Premier Guitar. I'm here with Gentleman Dick Bogue,
Charlie.
perpetual tennis runner-up of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Nazareth and elsewhere. And he's holding a beautiful guitar here that he's going to tell us all about. What do you have, Dick?
Well, this is the 0045 SC John Mayer Stagecoach Edition. This is as good as Martin guitars get. This is beautiful, beautiful Cocobolo back and sides. Cocobolo is a genuine rosewood that grows in Central America up through southern Mexico. Much like Brazilian rosewood in its tonality, beautiful orange and black grain. This is a 45, so it's got pearl inlay, actually blue power shell inlay throughout on the sides, the back, and the top. The top is Adirondack spruce, which has that really crystalline clarity. So it's a very high-end model. John brought a number of interesting points to the table. First of all, this rosette is the first time that we've ever done anything like this. The rosette usually stops at the fingerboard and the fingerboard covers up the junction. Here, John's idea was to continue the rosette pattern in the fingerboard. So what we had to do is fit the neck, glue it in, and without these last two frets in place, complete the inlay by hand, which is kind of an excruciating job, but it's a really beautiful thing. The other thing is 45 pearl usually goes around the end of the fingerboard in a U shape, but here it comes down and miters into the rosette, comes around like an ankh almost, and so it's just a lovely feature. The headstock is absolutely gorgeous. Once again, blue power against a Cocobolo background, a slotted headstock in the 1800s tradition with beautiful Waverly Sloan engraved bronze tuners with Ivoroid button.
Just the second signature model you've done for John, right?
The third. And the idea behind Stagecoach model is that Martin really invented these guitars, parlor guitars, in the mid 1800s. They were all 12 fret models, and they were all small, and they usually came in a coffin case, and they were shipped around the country, either in stagecoaches, Pony Express, Wells Fargo, or on trains later on. And John just loves this size as a songwriting tool. His OMs serve the purpose of stage models, but this is really the songwriter's dream. While we're in this neck of the woods, it'd be appropriate to talk about this. The custom shop is really on fire at Martin, and along the same lines as the John Mayer, this is from the same batch of beautiful Cocobolo back and sides. This is a limited edition of 125, and that's just based on the amount of beautiful sets of Cocobolo that we have. Adirondack spruce for the top. This is really an enhanced herringbone 28. Ebony fingerboard and bridge, of course. A Delmar nitrate pickguard, polished and beveled, full gloss finish, just a beautiful, beautiful dreadnought.
It's really the acquisition of a nice batch of wood that drove this move.
Absolutely, and also the custom shop likes to do kind of an annual edition. So this is constructed with hide glue in the style of the 1930s. All the braces are shaped in the custom shop, and it's just, we only have a certain amount of capacity at that level of hand craftsmanship, and so we keep these pretty limited. But this is just a work of art.
This looks familiar, but I'm sure there's some tricks in here.
It should look familiar because it's a D-18, and the D-18 started as the D1 in the early 1930s and has been kind of one of our flagship models throughout the years. In the last 25 years, we've introduced the D-18, the D-18V, the D-18 MP, the D-18 Golden Era, the D-18 Marquis, the D-18 Authentic. It got to be a little ridiculous because, in my opinion, the D-18 of the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s was quintessential, and the D-18 that we've been making wasn't scallop braced like the original instruments, and I was trying to fight for that for a long time. And finally what we've done is consolidated the D-18 the D-18V and the D-18P, which is the Performing Artist Series neck shape, into one model that has
No extra letters.
no extra letters, just a D-18. It's kind of like the D-18 full circle. Aging toner on the top, ebony fingerboard and bridge like it would have had up until about 1950. After that, they had rosewood. The ebony is so much more pretty. Nitrate pickguard, the abalone dot inlays instead of the mother of pearl, and open-geared butterbean tuners like the 30s and 40s. I don't know if you can feel the weight of this. I wish the people on camera could feel this because it's light as a feather, and that's what the D-18 is all about. When you have a guitar that's light, it produces an airy, breathy tone, crystalline and brilliant. In the same breath, we also upgraded the OM21, and the OM21 is basically like a vintage series OM28V, one of our most versatile models. The OMs are great for finger-style guitar, but they're also great for rhythm. Rosewood back and sides, spruce top, ebony fingerboard and bridge, with very, very simplified appointments, so you're really getting tone without any frills. Last year we had a pretty tremendous success introducing a guitar in memory of Douglas Greth, who is Chris Martin's half-brother. It was kind of an emotional project. Douglas played a nylon string guitar, and so the Doug Greth model was very much like this, a triple O body, 12-fret neck with a cutaway and electronics. And the guitar was so popular that we saw that there was a need for Martin to return to nylon strings. I mean, that's what our reputation was built on from 1830 all the way up until steel strings in the 1920s. So this is a fairly simple Sapelli back and sides, Sitka spruce top, nylon string model that's made for modern styles of nylon string playing. With
what's the nut width on this?
The nut width is a little narrower. I think it's 1 3/4, I believe. It has Fishman's F1 analog electronic system, which is a kind of a simplified version of the F1 Aura system. Very easy to use and very clean sounding. Basically, this is the only nylon string on our line, and we know it's going to do well.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while.
This is the Mamas and the Papas edition D, huh?
I have to admit that I grew up with the Mamas and Papas. I went parking with my girlfriend. I didn't tell my wife this, but we were out at the airport and we turned on the radio and the DJ said, "And now Mamas and Papas' new song, Monday, Monday." And it came on and it was fabulous, and I got my first kiss that night.
Oh, intense time.
I never will forget that moment. But Chris Martin saw a documentary about the Mamas and Papas on PBS, and he was blown away by the fact that the Journeymen and the Mugwumps and Sebastian and Zally and everybody leading up to the formation of the Mamas and Papas, including Denny Doherty and Mama Cass, who had a D-45. Everybody's playing Martin guitars on the PBS documentary. And then when the Mamas and Papas were founded, John often used the D-28 for songwriting and performances. And so Chris asked me to contact somebody, and I was fortunate to get in touch with Michelle Phillips, the only surviving member of the Mamas and Papas, beautiful woman. And we put together a project that really paid tribute to the tremendous musical contributions of an iconic band whose music really still works. It'll always work. Mama Cass's incredible vocals, Denny Doherty's beautiful tenor, John's incredible songwriting, arrangements, and background vocals, and Michelle's beauty, vocals, tremendous actress, just an incredible band, and I think they really deserve to be brought back to the forefront. They were here yesterday with us, Michelle, John's son Jeffrey and Mama Cass's daughter Owen. And it was just a very special project for us to pay tribute to the mamas and the papas.
Now you said this represents sort of an amalgam or a composite of a lot of different Martins that they used in some ways, correct?
Correct. Mama Cass had a D-45, so we've got a 45 Rosette. John and Denny both played a style 28 guitar. This is Madagascar rosewood, a really great sound. Carpathian spruce top, much like Adirondack in its tone. But I don't know if you can see on the inside label here, but this is a very famous photograph of the Mamas and Papas taken by Henry Diltz, who did the Morrison Hotel album cover as well as the first Crosby, Stills and Nash album cover. So the Henry Diltz photo is signed by Denny, Mama Cass, and John Phillips. They're imprinted signatures from one of their record contracts. The other label is based on one of their actual 45 labels from Words of Love, signed actually by Michelle, numbered, signed by Chris Martin. But the Henry Diltz photograph lent itself to a beautiful little silhouette inlay of the band. You can see Mama Cass, Michelle, John, and Denny silhouetted in mother of pearl. So it's no secret that woods are getting more and more difficult to acquire, especially the traditional tone woods that have made up Martin guitars for more than 175 years. We've been working very hard for the last 25 years to try and promote sustainable certified wood instruments, and they come with this special green label with the FSC certification. This is called the GPC PA mahogany model. It's, once again, light as a feather. The lightness contributes to a beautiful crystalline, brilliant tone. This guitar is 100% certified, and the certified mahogany is toned with kind of a violin coloration. Comes with the F1 analog, this is the F1 Aura, which is the enhanced Aura electronics. See how it comes on, and you have your own onboard tuner, which is terrific, plus multiple images of very high-end microphones. So it's really important that we educate the public about the viability of alternative tone woods and show them how viable it is with real products that work.
All right. Well, this is a stupid question, Dick, but where do people go out to find out more about all this stuff?
Well, you can find out about it at martinguitar.com, and you can certainly find out a tremendous amount about Martin guitars at premierguitars.com.
Ah, thanks for the pitch. All right. Well, Dick, it's been good to hang, buddy. We'll see you all soon.
My old buddy, my Nashville Nightmares buddy.
Yeah, Nashville Nightmares, right here. All right. This is Charles and Dick signing off for Premier
NAMM
Guitar.
Show 2012.
Yeah, that. premierguitar.com.